Hello again. Okay, so we're waiting for Sherissa. While we're waiting, well, I guess you can't really see it right now. I will skip the story. No, I won't. Okay, so whenever you have. Oh, she's here. Cool. I'm not going to finish the story. Ah, you saved me, Sherissa. I'm adding you right now. Oh, and you requested too, so double whammy. Hi, Cheyenne. Okay, is it not letting me oh, approve. There we go. Um, you'll have to try to just so I'm adding you too, so it won't let me. There you are. Oh, turn it horizontally.
Okay.
There you go. Sorry.
Not so.
You look so nice. It looks like you cut your hair.
Oh, no.
Oh, you just curled it.
Curled it, yeah.
Cool.
Get my tripod set right because I had it set for the other way and then I was like, wait a second.
Oh, no, that stinks.
Hold on. Let me just get it going.
Hi, Candace.
Okay. Should be okay.
All you hear is like.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, stay. It'll be worth it. Stay.
I know. Okay, wait. Stop it. Stop it.
Everybody who's been watching these are all like people from Wild Rebel Rising or like already my clients anyways. But super cool. I put all of the interviews on the landing page, theabsolutefreedomconcept.com/wildrebel. And so they're all there. Like, so exciting. So yeah. Sherissa and I have already decided this is going to be a long one. So it is what it is.
Short, that's why. They're never short, that's why. Whenever we talk to each other.
Yeah, it's always a really long time. Okay, so we'll just get started. I keep on saying that I'm gonna like edit the videos, but I didn't. I just put them all up on YouTube, and they are what they are. So, Sherissa was in the first Wild Rebel Rising too, and I know that she was one of the first people around whenever I started coaching, and I hadn't even declared myself a coach at this point. I met Sherissa in my affiliate marketing business. She was one of my leads, and we talked on the phone for like an hour and a half at least, I think, the first time. And then she kind of backed away because she was like, she's like, this girl's so nice. And she didn't want to like hurt my feelings and stuff because she wasn't going to do the thing. And we like sort of went our separate ways for, I don't know, 2 weeks or something like that. And then I opened up the group and invited all my leads in. And Sherissa has been there from the start. She was my very first coaching client ever because I gave away 3 mentorships for free so I could get experience and testimonials and stuff. And she was the only one who made it all the way through the 3 months. And then she got engaged. So now she's married and she's back in with us, very active. And I'll just just tell us, what was it like for you before you jumped into Wild Rebel Rising?
Okay, so like you were saying, I've been there from like way before. So a lot has changed. I mean, I've known you probably about a year and a half now, I feel. It's like
about a year, I think.
Yeah. Feels longer for some reason.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, I just like I learned a lot. I grew a lot. But then I got engaged and I started hanging out with my family and, kind of just like being involved in that kind of stuff and just life. And instead of putting in practice like what I was learning, I kind of like drifted. And then I started to feel like those familiar feelings of like, I don't like this. I feel like uncomfortable. I feel like something's missing. And so then I saw Wild Rebel Rising, and I was like, oh my god, like what is this? And I got so excited, and I just like jumped in, and dude, I've learned so much. I took a page of notes because I wanted to like tell you guys like how much impact this has. Like, it's amazing how you can expect one thing from a group like this and get totally different results, and but like in a good way, like better than what you expected, better than
so
you
much.
think you're gonna get. You know, like you're like, okay, well, I'll just grow a little, you know, business wise or like spiritual wise, but then it's like, no, you're gonna grow 110% this way, and this is what's gonna happen, and then you're like, oh my god, like I'm this new person. Like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Um, and so, yeah, it was a lot. Do you want me to talk about all the things that I've learned right
Um, well, I'll ask you the questions and let's see what comes out. I know that you like I could probably just let you go and you know like read from your paper because I know that you took a lot of notes, but let's go through a couple of things and then I'll open it up and like you can tell because I think we're gonna cover a lot of it. Well, let's just see here. So, yeah, you answered 1, 2, 3. So, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what you just said. What were some of your biggest breakthroughs? What are some of the things you learned? So I should have just said yes.
Okay, no, it's fine. It's okay. It's new for us. We're just trying it out. So like I said, I learned a lot already, like through working with you, just like a ton about myself and like breaking through things. And a lot of like traumatizing events happened throughout when I backed away. And so I really needed like the extra push, and that's what this group gave me. It was like that extra push, and it made me realize like, oh my god, all this work I've been doing is wonderful, and I've been like progressing and all that. But the thing that I didn't do was I wasn't surrendering, and I wasn't like allowing what I wanted to come to me. And I was like not in receiving mode. Like I totally just was doing all this work, and then I'm like, okay, where's the results? Like what's going on? But I didn't realize like I wasn't in receiving mode. And that's what this group like helped me with. Like I really understood like, okay, you have to be able to open up and receive, otherwise what are you doing the work for? Because you're just gonna like repel it, you're just gonna feel empty handed, you know, with all the work, and you're like, okay, and then you're like, wait, what's going on? Like you know. And so
Yeah.
that's something that I really like looked at, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a huge thing for me. Like I thought I was open to receiving, but I totally wasn't. And that had a lot to do with the shadow work that we were doing, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And so eye-opening to all of the underlying things that you need to like shed light onto. It's ridiculous how much that you don't realize that you're not dealing with. Even if you're dealing with it, even if you're like facing it and you're like, okay, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do the work, but then you're like kind of still only half-heartedly doing it, and then you're wondering why you're not getting the results or you're not able to receive.
Yeah.
Like,
and we get so blinded. Like we get so blinded by judgments that we do build a wall around ourselves. And even though I don't know if there was any like specific lessons on opening to receive, actually there might have been something. I might have called it that. Let me just say, when I did this program, I left it up to God. I was like, I got the download for the program. I knew, you know, what I wanted to talk about each week, and it wasn't what I wanted. It was like, okay, I'm just going to write all this down because this is something that needs to happen, needs to come into the world. And every single lesson was just like, okay, open up, get the message, and let it come out. And that was like what it was. So I don't specifically remember like what the weekly lessons were, but I do remember the transformations and stuff, and it's all the stuff that I do. But becoming open to receiving is the result of that. Like, and it's so cool that you like recognize that. It might actually be one of the subjects that we talked about, but honestly, I don't know. Yeah,
totally could have been. I don't really remember either. Like I just remember, like I don't remember like specific moments. I just remember several times throughout watching the videos and like doing the work where I was like, oh my god, you know, this is awesome. This is something that I need to look into or like do more of and do more journaling. And then through that, it would spark like almost like the universe to work in my favor. Like if I wanted to know about chakras, like we did talk about
it's
chakras.
alignment, baby. Alignment.
Yeah, I wanted to know about that. Like I was like, okay, well, I don't know anything really about it, but I know she was talking about it, and it intrigues me. And then all of a sudden, like the universe would just start unfolding for me because I wanted to know and I wanted to grow, and I was there and I was ready. You know, they say like when you're ready to learn, like the student's ready to learn, the teacher appears. That's what this is. Like you're reading through and you're telling us what needs to come through, and we just receive that. You know what I mean? Like we're receiving it, and then it just all starts unfolding.
Totally. I like to call myself an activator now. I don't even like using the word coach anymore. It's like activator, MD.
It's got a better ring to it because that's really what it is. It's like you're just sparking a light, you know, like helping this person figure out for themselves. Like
totally.
Instead of coaching them through their lives. Like it's different.
It is different.
It's better, I think. But.
Oh yeah. Always better and better every day.
Like just so in receiving, like I was able to like release the beliefs that I had, and I like thought I had released, you know, fully before, but there was parts of me, the shadow parts of me, that still wanted to cling on, and that was kind of like it enabled me to receive by releasing them, like by letting them fully go, and understanding why I was able to let them go fully before I was being able to receive more. Like I received my spiritual gifts. Like I've always known that I was like a spiritual medium. I got told that before, but I was terrified to let people know that. And after a while, I was like, you know, it got more uncomfortable being comfortable, I guess. Like being in that state of I don't want anybody to know that, you know, I have had these gifts. Instead, I was like, you know what? Now that I'm like shedding these shadow parts, like it's uncomfortable staying in my comfort zone. Like that's no longer comfortable for me. That is like the most uncomfortable I've ever felt. And because it's not me, you know what I mean? You're just like, you see the facade that you put on, and you see these like masks that you put on, and you're just like, I'm done. Like, done putting these fake faces on every day for different people, and I'm done like pretending that, you know, I'm ashamed of my gifts when I'm not, like behind closed doors, you know. And so that was like a huge break, I thought. Uh-oh. I think you're frozen.
You have really come into your gifts. No, you were breaking up a little bit, but you're fine now. Am I frozen?
Huh?
Am I frozen for you?
Yeah.
So, guys, could you tell us which end is like not working? Is it mine or is it Sherissa's? Let me go check. I can check on Facebook.
I know I'm on there too. Let me see.
Can you hear me now?
I just like you're stuck. You're smiling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it is mine. It's my connection. What the heck? Frozen. Okay. Oh, but you can still hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, screw it. That's fine. Okay. So what I was saying is, oh no, Cheyenne says that we're both glitchy.
No, what is
but it is it is my live stream, so it's my live stream, so it's probably because of me. I'll just go sit like over here or something. Is that better? Am I here?
I can't see you still.
Shit. Okay. Well, that's just weird. I don't know why.
I feel like every time we try to do a live, it's too much.
Yeah, we like kill the internet. Okay, well, we'll just keep talking, and if my if my side comes back on, it'll be fine. If not, that's cool too.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm saying is like you came really really into your spiritual gifts recently,
Yeah.
and it was so cool. Um, so how has that affected you in your life, and like how's this other, being open to receive, obviously it's affected you by receiving, seeing opportunity that you couldn't probably see before, and then also how's it affecting you to be able to have your spiritual gifts activated?
It it's just like it's like a sense of peace. It's like, like you're just like fumbling sometimes to figure out like what it is that you need to do. And sometimes you're like, is this avenue the right way? Is this avenue the right one? What is it? And for me, when I started to have those just kind of like flow through me, because they've always been there and I've always known this. I've even been told this by a psychic, and I've just always kept it hidden because of beliefs around me or beliefs that I put on myself. And I just was like, you know what? I can't hide anymore. This is who I am. This is who I was born into. I mean, these gifts started showing after I was born. And I just started to like shed all of that. And it just feels so good to be able to be what I know I've always been, and to
Yeah.
be like, like this is me. I'm not ashamed of it. And to actually provide like services and like to provide like just so much gifts that I have to others, like to let them be a part of that or help them through things, is awesome, because that's like my main thing. Like I love to help people. I love comforting people. It's always been a part of my personality in general. And for me to be able to like channel and like do things like that and not be ashamed of it, it's just so cool. Like it's so liberating and just full on freeing. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just like a way that you can act in love. Like that's just like the best way to act. I love it. Just feeling that is just so good. Like, I don't know. It's just like so fun.
Everything, it's everything. I
Yeah,
love it so much. Um,
yeah.
okay, so what do you think is that the result that you're most proud of achieving? Most proud of achieving? Or is
Um,
there something else? I
I
know there's a
think
lot.
it's. I'm
There's
proud of
even
all, not one less than the other, because if I was just proud of like a couple, I wouldn't be being truthful, because like I'm like proud of the entire process. I'm proud of the downs. I'm proud of the times where I was like, what am I doing? Like I'm like, how am I? Why? Like I feel like I'm hitting a wall. I'm proud of just like using my voice and like using my voice to do good and to you know be able to speak with you on how like I want to come out of my shell about the spiritual stuff, and just
mm-hmm.
be like able to even speak that was a great achievement for me, because it's just something that I've always kept hidden. And so just doing that, I was able to like own it, because through your help as well, and just being and embodying love more, um, by receiving like my gifts and receiving all of the work, the hard work that I've done, like receiving the good from it. I've been able to like love others, and but also like love myself and put boundaries up. And that's been a huge one for me, is like putting boundaries up where they're needed, because I had none before. Like a year ago, I had none, absolutely none. And even before Wild Rebel Rising, like I still, I have a codependent uh, sort of personality, and it's been there since I was very young. I mean, we even did the emotion code, and we found out that I've had issues since I was a baby, and I've known that. I've known that there's been issues and deep-seated issues, and
Yeah.
just being able to like break free of that and just like owning all of it and just being like, you know what, I don't have to deal with this. Like I'm shedding all of this. Like this new person that I am is who I've always been inside and who I've always wanted to be, and she's like come out to play, and I love it. And so I guess, and I'm
Yeah,
like not
for
afraid
sure.
of setting any boundaries of anybody who gets in my way of being who I'm gonna be, you know, and who I am. And so that to me is like so powerful.
I love it so much. Oh my gosh. There's something that I was going to tell you about. Oh yeah. So it is really, really important that this super strong foundation is formed. Because, you know, Sherissa has been doing a lot of work for free, and I'm just gonna like say it right now. There, we can get so many downloads that we don't know what to do with them, and so this work, like Sharissa and everybody else, can go back and do it again around money or around putting out offers, and so like you're building the solid foundation with the first time you do it, but you still have the material there. So next time you want to do it around money or about receiving money for your services, like you get to do it again. Um, and the cool thing is, it's like literally 6 weeks, and like 6 weeks is nothing. It's a month and a half, and like through doing this, like you can do anything you want. You can either, if you're coming from a place of like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, or I don't know who I am, like cool, you're going to build a solid foundation. If you're coming from a place of like, I really understand who I am and I already have a business and I'm already making money, then you're going to get something from it too, because I bet your sweet ass that you are living a shadow version of your vision, and you're not being all of you unless you've been diligently working to become that all of you. So this foundational sort of stuff is it's so important for fulfillment. It's so important to move to the next level. And even if you are like next level or whatever, if you're not owning who you are, if you're not owning all of you, then you're not going to be happy. Like, period. And trust me, I know this because I've had like so many businesses that I thought this is the one, or like I love this business, and then another part of me is revealed, and I'm just like, oh shit, you know, like here we go again. I have to like, you know, deal with the embarrassment of you know, changing my business model or whatever. And I decided, you know what, I'm not doing that shit anymore. I'm just gonna be me all of the time, and whatever comes out, and that's my business like all the time. And so yeah, like it really doesn't matter where you are. Like if I saw somebody put this program out, I'd be like, fuck yes, where do I sign up? But you know, it's just it's not rare because everybody wants to focus on um like superficial type of shit, or like yeah, it's not this, none of this stuff is superficial. It's all going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper within, and it affects every area of your life, you know, love, relationships, money, health, everything. And so I just think that it's so important that people know that. And like you're a perfect example of that. You thought that you were going to have one result. And then you come out and you're like, no, holy crap, like everything has changed. Like everything has changed. And that's how it was for me too. Like, again, I did this work too, and I continue to do the work. It's stuff that I've always sort of done, but it just came out in a teachable type of way this time, and it changed my life too. It's really crazy how that happens. But yeah, so
It's like right,
wherever you are on your journey, it's yeah, this is it, guys. This is the real deal.
yeah, it's like right when you need it too. It's like everybody has their own path, and sometimes you don't hear the message. And like I probably, you know, I probably wouldn't have heard it 2, 3 years ago, but that year, you know, this last year, like that's all I've been wanting is to hear messages and to hear, you know, what I've been looking for. And now I've been able to hear it loud and clear
Yeah,
because of where I'm at and how it was being delivered. And like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's all about when you want to receive it and when you're going to be able to hear it. And like, that's, it's so beautiful the way that works, like the whole process. And the foundation is so true. Like, you're so right on about that.
it is. It's so important, dude. Okay, so let me see. Oh, what I was going to ask you next was what kind of impact did it have on you to be able to go through this experience with the community? instead of just one-on-one, because one-on-one is amazing, right? But having a whole tribe is even better.
Well, I think it just brings like a diversity of people. Like you get a totally different, like diverse community. So it's like if maybe you don't suffer with depression or anxiety, which whatever maybe you do, but like for an example, um, some people don't, some people do, and so there's different things that you can relate with people's like certain times throughout the process. Like if you're feeling like um, oh, I'm feeling anxious about this. Like I just don't feel like it's working. There's always going to be that other person that feels the same way and maybe has already taken a step into how to progress. Because I saw that a lot throughout the group is like, there was like a couple people that would kind of like bunch together or be on the same type of path or same type of journey in this process. A couple of us, they'd be like, hey, well, this is what I did to get through this, or yeah, that came up for me too, and it's just like super relatable. And to be able to like know that like you're not alone, or like you're not just being told by your coach. I mean, obviously you're not doing that, but I'm just saying, like, because some people get like that. You just don't know. You're just like, okay, well, I'm being coached here, even though you're an activator, but like,
Yeah.
you have that like that foundation type of thing with a group, and that way you can kind of like relate to everyone and build with each other, and then you also build like friends that are actually growing with you instead of just like being surrounded by people who aren't doing what you're doing and
Totally.
feeling alone and lost, because that was like a huge thing for me. The people that I've been around and the people that I've surrounded myself with are nowhere near where I'm at right now. And so for me to have people that were like-minded and like I could reach out to and be like, hey, like this is what this is right now for me, and how are you, or like just having that support, and the and not having to like explain yourself on what you mean, because we get it, like we're on the same page. That was like huge, huge for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially whenever you're working through this kind of stuff where you're becoming more authentic, you better understand that you're going to be, losing some relationships that once meant a lot to you, that no longer mean anything to you, that actually being around them sort of makes you sick. And you just realize it is not okay for me to be in this vibrational, vicinity anymore, right? And so having that group, and it's such a good point. It's such a good point. Having this new clique, you have a new group of friends. It's your tribe. Like it's forever. Like you guys will be able to have that sort of relationship forever because of the deep, deep work that you guys let everybody into. It was just so powerful. I have to tell you, I have 11 on my friends' requests, messenger, and notifications right now on my computer. Just saying. Must be about friends. Hi, Sarah Morton.
Yeah. I think and I also think too, like that's important as well, because for me, like I want to do, what you do as well. That's like one of my passions, is like I love doing that. And for me to see like the group setting and how powerful that was, it also encouraged me to like get a group going, because I see that like how powerful, like not just women, obviously there's men too, but like women are very powerful, and when they're not like being mean to each other on social media, because you see that a lot, and you see a lot of times we tear each other apart, and it's just refreshing to see that there is still love, and there is still like you want to connect, and you want to be in a setting where you're like just loving and just being like free and just growing. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like a powerhouse tribe. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited that you felt that you brought that up. It's really important. Okay, so I wanted to say something. How you said that you want to do what I do, and it inspired you to make a group, right? Because like, let's just go back. I mean, like I said, Sherissa's been there from the beginning. She knows exactly what I did in my business, right? Very first thing. I mean, and for anybody who's not going to join Wild Rebel Rising, which by the way, I'm going to drop a link for the, for you to check it out right now. But for anybody who's not going to join, I still want you to get value and I want you to know these steps that I took, where I opened up a Facebook group and then I taught a lesson every Monday. But I planned it out. And it was just to, bring in better habits into everybody's lives. And, these were my leads for my affiliate marketing group. And I thought, well, they're not doing anything. I had these 3,000 leads. They're not doing anything. They're not signing up. They're not going to webinars. So what can I do to, activate them? So I thought, well, maybe if I teach them the mindset stuff first, when they are ready to sign up, they will be ready to make money. And so that was what I intended in this group. I just taught them exactly what I would have taught my downline. And it turned out that there was other people from that affiliate marketing company that needed this kind of support too. So other people's downlines were coming to me, and I realized, okay, I'm going to start a challenge, and I'm going to start, collecting new email addresses and, making these new relationships through email marketing and stuff like that. And I really don't think that I did too much of that, but I think I did enough. And then I just taught a lesson every Monday. And if I felt like coming on live during the week, other than that, I would. But it wasn't just about me. It was about everybody. And my heart wasn't set on coaching. My heart wasn't saying, let me open this group so I can make a bunch of fucking money. Although there was one girl who found out that I wanted to coach and, kind of lost her shit. So there's going to be people like that too. Do you remember? So yeah, like, there's going to be people like that too, but don't let it discourage you, because you know what, if you feel called to do what you are called to do, you have to do it, no matter whose toes you perceivably step on. To do it, like, you have to do it, especially coming from that place of heart-centeredness, not thinking like, oh, I'm opening this group to make money. No, I'm opening this group to advance these people in their lives, because I have information that is really vital to them. And then after doing that challenge, I saw the transformations that people went through in the first, 5 or 6 days of it, it was only 5 or 6 days. And I realized, holy crap, I could be getting paid for this. Like, this is amazing. And so that's whenever I started coaching, but I still sat on it for a whole month. So I opened the group for like 3 months before I ever even put out offers. I put out like 3 offers on Black Friday. And it was because I built that tribe, because I cared about the people, and they knew that the money wasn't a big deal. But I'm sure you could see I was losing energy by showing up every single, like, however, every week or every day or however I was doing it. I was losing energy. There has to be an energy exchange, and you'll never actually transform if there's not an energy exchange. If you're not putting something into the relationship, then you're not going to get the information that's being given to you anyways. And that was what I really wanted to make sure that the people in the group were participating, so that it would be more about them, right? So they would be giving to each other. So at first it was set up to be that way, but the bigger it got, the harder it was to keep everybody activated and stuff. So I just wanted to give you guys like a little bit of that. It's just like, anybody who's thinking like, I want to start something, like, you don't have to sit on it. Just show up and be you, and just give value. And whenever you feel like, I'm running out of energy for this value, like, then you decide, you know what, I deserve an energy exchange. I deserve to be paid for what I do. And like, you can't be ashamed of it. You just have to decide, like, this is what I want to do. Period. The end.
That's so true too, because, okay, so when I first decided that I was going to come out basically of the spiritual closet about the oracle readings on my page, on my group page, which is public. I have 2 groups. One's not public and one's public. And I went on the public page, and the very first comment that I got was negative. The very first comment. And it was oh, are these oracle cards? Oh my gosh, like, I don't like that. And I put LOL, like, okay, that was nice of you to let me know that. Like, that's great, but I can't not do this anymore. You know what I mean? Like, this needs to
Yes.
come. And then after that, all of my sisters from the group just came flooding in, and I was like, yes, like, you know,
Yes.
bye. Like, it's not for everyone, you know, but it's like a point where you're just like, I can't not do this anymore. Like,
Yep.
just like with coaching or activating, I like that word better, so much more better than that coaching word too.
Yeah.
But like recently, like you've pushed me because I like, you know, my foundation has grown so much, and like the progress that I've made has been so much that I'm just like, at this point, I believe in myself fully, and I know that what I'm sharing in my messages are like worth an energy exchange now. And now I'm like starting to like
Totally.
say,
Oh my God. You're so good at it. Like, you're so fucking good at it. I just gotta say, like, you, that's what I mean. Like, dude, you put out so much stuff. Like, I mean, we're kind of going into sort of like the coaching session here, but not really. We're still involving you guys watching, but like, just so y'all know, I mean, you guys watching already know Sherissa does her channeling like crazy. I mean, she feels it, she hears it. Like, I don't know, whatever. Like, it needs to be, it needs to be done. Like, decision made, starting to put out offers like tonight. By the way, Sharissa will be putting out an offer tonight. Just gonna go ahead and put it out there.
okay,
Yeah. So you have to do it now. Everybody's expecting it.
yeah, yeah. No, I was going to anyways. I'm
Oh
aware.
hell yeah. That's what's up. Oh yeah, you told me that you were doing the card reading tonight, huh?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm
Oh my
excited.
gosh. Okay, cool. Well, let's get a couple more of these questions out of the way. Actually, um there's only two questions left, and I'll roll them into one. So like just your overall experience, if you could sum it up in a couple of sentences, and then what would you say to people who are sitting on the fence about joining Wild Rebel Rising?
Well, that's a mouthful. I mean, don't sit on the fence anymore. Like leap, like jump, like let's
Yeah.
go. Stop procrastinating. Stop holding yourself back. Stop doing this. Stop suffering and being like, why am I suffering? Like jump, get off of the fence and let's go. Like let's run.
Totally. Yeah.
Do it. Just freaking go. Like it's what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do later on in your life if you're like, man, you know, I missed this opportunity. That Corey girl, you know, she was in my ear 24/7, and I was just like ignoring it. And she's 5, and I'm just sitting here like still having these issues and still not, you know, happy with my life. Like, what are you gonna have? You're gonna have regret, and that sucks. That sucks worse than losing a couple $100 or whatever you think of it. Losing money, you're not losing money. Like this investment is worth everything. Like you don't. It's not even. It's not. It shouldn't even be a question. Just do it. Like it's just go. Like you're gonna be so much happier. You're gonna be able to step into the real you, and you're gonna be able to own it, and you're gonna be able to do the things that you thought you couldn't do, and realize why you thought you couldn't do them, and face it, and be like, yeah, yeah, no, you can sit down now. The real girl's coming out, or the real guy's coming out.
I have to agree with all of that. Just do.
I'm inclined to agree with all of that.
Yes. I'm not biased or anything, but yes, all of this is true.
No, but really, I mean, even my family, like sometimes they would say, like, "Wow, like you just really like come around." And you know, I've always been like a bubbly person, but I had depression, I had anxiety, I have handled both of those through the help of her and her activations, and me realizing that there's some issues that I needed to face and deal with, and then I could work through it, you know. And it's so simple. It's just a matter of saying yes. Like don't when life hands you things like this, like you need to say yes to them, because what else are you going to say yes to? That video game, that, you know, whatever else that you spend your money on, like that. Like what is that doing for you? What is that serving you? Nothing.
That beer,
I mean,
that
really, we're
weed, like, yeah. Sorry,
the
I didn't mean
what?
to cut you off. I was saying like beer, like I was saying, yeah, what else are you gonna spend on? Like beer, like weed, like going out to eat or going to the club, like
Going out clubbing.
grow
What is
grow a pair.
Yeah, like what is that gaining you? Because I know you go home at night or that next day, and you feel empty. You got an empty wallet and emptiness inside. So what's the difference? here with, you know, if you spend the
Girl.
money here, you're going to not feel that emptiness anymore. You're going to fill the void, but with good things, like with the things that need to be just mended, basically.
Yeah,
That void.
and then you can drink as much beer and smoke as much weed as you want. Like, duh. Like, get your shit together first so that you're not using it as a crutch at least. Come on.
I'm getting like depressed, like, oh, I'm depressed, so let me just do this, or
Yeah.
let me just TV. Instead,
Go
you get to like,
shopping.
do those things where you're like, you know, I feel good about myself, and you know, now I get to enjoy this rather than feel like I'm coping, you know, and
Totally.
that stops working after a while. The coping like that stops working. So it's just, what do you have to lose other than the regret later on in life? You can lose that by doing stuff like this.
Totally. I really appreciate you saying that. That's awesome, Sherissa. So,
Of course.
just tell us a little bit about, I mean, you've already really told us about your overall experience, but what do you think, like, your overall experience? If I'll just give you a couple of seconds here and you can think of a couple of adjectives, like, that's words that describe a verb or a noun. Oh my gosh. Okay. Like a couple
Uh,
of words to describe it.
uh,
Your
to
experience.
describe experience,
Yeah, not the program, your experience.
awakening, enlightenment, powerful, just so many words. Like, I don't, they're empowering,
Awesome. Those are all my favorite words too.
spiritual, like, even when you didn't expect it, it just naturally happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another thing I didn't even mention, which I'm just going to mention really quick, but when I started to receive more, I started to realize that, so I've gained weight. I've always been a little chunky, but I've gained some significant weight over the past couple of years. And it was because, you know, I was just like, on life, you know, and recently, like, I used to drink like rock stars every day. I know you guys seen me on my lives before, like, I'd just be drinking a rock star. I'd have like two a day. I can't even touch coffee now. Like, I'm just so sensitive to everything, in a good way. Like, my body knows now. It's like, hey,
Like
we
you
got to take
don't
care of
need
it.
it.
Yeah, like food. You know, I used to take Advil PMs every night to go to sleep, and it started to make my chest feel funny. Like, after a while, I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't need these. Like, I'm done with this. You know, this is bad
Yeah.
for my body. I'm gonna treat my body now. I do yoga now. Like, I do all kinds of different things. I meditate. Like, it's just a complete transformation. Like, that's like the main word is like transformation, like at the fullest. Whatever
Totally.
you're trying to transform, you can go to like a program and like, I want to transform my body, or I want to transform, you know, I want to learn about this. Like, this program is like all of it. Like, you can learn so much more and you can tap into other things just by this one program. Like, it's all here. It's just like she said, building a foundation. It's getting to the root of things and building upwards, and then things start unfolding. And that's
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Oh, there is.
And that was something that I brought up yesterday too when I was talking to Jen. I was like, and I bet you've noticed that you've dropped some weight. I bet everybody's noticed that they're dropping some weight too, because it is a natural. It's just what happens. I mean, only if you're overweight. Like if you're super skinny, you're not going to lose weight. Like, hopefully not. Maybe I don't know. Unless you want to be like super skinny, whatever. That's cool. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, you're right, girlfriend. All of it, all of it. Okay, well, would you consider that to be closing words, or do you want to keep going?
I'd say that's possibly the closing words. Transformation. That's,
Yeah,
again, I reiterate that if you're on the fence, jump and stop. Stop stop lying to yourself and saying that you can do it some other time, or you'll catch another one of her groups or whatever. Like, it's just, it's now. Like, if you're even thinking about it, I have this saying, like, so like, if you, I've always thought this, like, if you're dating somebody and you're thinking about somebody else or like dating them, then you probably weren't attached to the first person to begin with. Like, you probably have some work to do. Like, you probably should just leave, because if you're feeling like you have to like go to somebody else, you know, So the same thing for this. Like, if you feel like you should come here, then you should probably follow that, because it's probably what you want and it's what you are trying to tell yourself. But you're for whatever reason, you're probably staying in your way, and that's what you need to stop doing, because you're just going to feel guilty later. You're just going to feel regret about it. So just leave, just run.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Thank you so much, Sherissa. That's so exciting and so powerful. I really appreciate you being on here, even though you can't see me. I've been looking at you the whole time. So maybe it'll show up on the replay. But anybody who wants to follow Sherissa, you can go and click on her name. She's tagged in this video, and on the landing page, that if you're watching this on the landing page, it's right underneath the video. Her name is actually tagged, so you just have to click on it and it will take you to her page. So Sherissa, oh, you know what? I never put the freaking link that I sent. I never put the link for Wild Rebel Rising in this. Hold on. So that I can pin it. So here's the link for you to get started. Just go right after this. And if you're unsure still, then just make sure that you click this link anyways. It's going to take you to my messenger, and it's going to give you options, right? Do you want to start now? Do you want more details, or do you want to chat with me? So those are the 3 options that I have on there. So you can decide to do that. It gives you lots of stuff to choose from. So yeah, other than that, and just thank you again for being here. Thanks for coming on, Sherissa, and I'll see you on your video in just a little bit.
Hey, I just wanted to say one more thing too. If anybody has any like doubts or questions or whatever, feel free to message me. I'm more than willing to let you know about why you should do it.
Awesome. Thank you, my homie. I love you. Bye.